My previous home office desk setup has become a mess. So many cables, devices, monitors, hard drives. It's not clean anymore at all. Now, in my new studio, I want to have a single hub where everything is connected. My goal is to build a clean, efficient setup to improve my creative video editing workflow. So let's see if that's possible. Imagine connecting your whole desk setup to your laptop with just one cable. This might become reality with this product. This is the iVANKY FusionDock Max 1, and we're right about to set up my whole desk and try this thing. First, let's see what's inside. So the FusionDock Max 1 is specifically made for Mac. Now those are lots of ports, and that's not the end. You can even see in the back there are more ports. And let's just remove this sticker. There we go. many ports. And the really special thing about this hub is that we have two Thunderbolt 4 chips inside. So we can use both data transfer speeds of Thunderbolt 4 of our MacBook, which makes this so special. And I actually need this as a video editor, as I need fast speed on my SSDs, on my SD cards. I would just say, let's find a spot on the desk where we can mount it, because it's a standing desk and you can move it up or down. So I want to mount it somewhere here on the desk in a really smart way to just hide the cables in the back, but to use the connectors in the front every time I need them. But yeah, actually there are just some more cables inside. One cable might be interesting because this one is the one you connect to your MacBook, and as you see, so this is what gets into the iVANKY hub, these two cables, and this what's going into your MacBook. Let's see how it works in reality. So it's time to find a place for the central hub of this whole desk setup, and it's tough to find a place because I want it to look sleek but integrated into the desk. So I thought of putting it like here in front of the desk, but the problem is sometimes friends are coming and we're co-working just on this desk, one on this side, one on this side, because it's huge. Then if it's here, it would be confusing, and like there are cables and stuff. That's not cool in the front. So I was thinking of putting it in here. It would be pretty sleek, but the problem is every time the cables would move to the front and back when I move that. I decided to just put it on the right side of the desk so nobody actually sees it, but I can still always access it whenever I want to plug in an external hard drive, an SD card or stuff like that. I just glued the iVANKY FusionDock Max 1 to the bottom of my desk plate, and it seems to be really stable there. And now it's time to unbox everything else and set up the whole desk. I've connected everything by now and finished my desk setup, and now let's see if the hub had all the connection options that I needed, or somewhere missing, or it was even too much. Let's see. So we'll start of course with the laptop itself. It's connected with two Thunderbolt 4 cables. Easy. I put it to the right side of the desk to hide the cable. I also put it between the space of the FusionDock to use it as a cable management option somehow. And then the monitor. It is connected via HDMI currently. I would love to connect it via Thunderbolt 4 because this display has the option, but the Thunderbolt 4 cable which came with a monitor was too short to fit from the desktop, from the monitor below the desk to the FusionDock. So I used HDMI, and I'm pretty impressed because sometimes HDMI is laggy, but it's not at all. It's running super smooth. So maybe I will stay with HDMI, or I'll buy a 2-meter Thunderbolt 4 cable. Let's see. But I'm impressed how good the resolution and the smoothness is with this hub, even just with HDMI. What's connected as well is the Logitech MX Creative Console. It's connected via USB-C onto the back of the hub, working great. Then we have connected the two speakers with the aux port. But the thing is, the FusionDock Max 1 also has the connection to use optical audio cables and this delivers even crispier sound. The problem is that I cannot control the volume if I connect my speakers with optical. That has nothing to do with the FusionDock, with the hub, but with the MacBook itself. So I just stay with aux, which has even 2 options on the hub. In the back and in the front, I use the back because then I was able to hide the cable even better. Also on the back of the FusionDock, I have just connected a single USB-C data transfer cable, just in case I want to plug in a GoPro or a drone so I can use it every time. That's great as well. Then on the front, I have connected 2 external hard drives, to be exact, 2 external SSDs. We're going to do a speed test just in a minute. And I've tried to connect an Ethernet cable, which worked great as well, but I prefer to use Wi-Fi, so I just disconnected it. So let's see which ports are not used yet. There is one normal USB port. There's one USB-C port. There is one HDMI port, not used either. Then Ethernet, not used. Optical, not used. And you can even lock this dock with a specific cable somewhere on the desk, not used. So we still have plenty of connections left, especially if you want to connect multiple displays. This is super important. And for me, it is going to be important as well because I plan to connect some more external hard drives. This was the back side, so now let's go to the front. It's just so funny because there are already 3 external SSDs connected. You see it? And still we have 2 high-speed USB-C ports available and 1 high-speed normal USB port available. And another external headphone, an SD card socket, which I will use a lot, and micro SD card, which is called TF cards socket, which I will use a lot as well. I love it because another advantage of this is that you don't need to buy another external hub to connect it to the usual hub, because that's what I had to do in the past. On my old hub, I had to buy another extended USB hub, not with this. Especially 2 Thunderbolt 4 cables connected to the MacBook, because there are 2 different chips inside of this hub to use the most of the power possible. And I'm pretty sure that this thing was a great addition to my creator setup here. I've put a link down below in the description of the hub where you can find more details and even buy it. You'll even find a specific discount code down below to save you some money. One of the big advantages of the FusionDock Max 1 is that you're able to connect multiple displays. So that always has been a problem for me because I was trying to run 2 displays, just 2 displays on my MacBook with an older Dell Thunderbolt 3 dock, I guess, or 2, Thunderbolt 2 or 3, and it was not working. Every time I had to connect the second monitor with HDMI from the monitor to the MacBook itself. So the FusionDock Max 1 is the first ever dock I have which really needs just one connector, this one, to be plugged into my MacBook, which makes it extremely easy. The thing is, with so many things connected, how good can the speed be? Actually, I expect a lot because we use both Thunderbolt 4 ports on the MacBook, which should be enough for amazing speed. So now let's do a speed test. First of all, a 4K display is connected, which we have to keep in mind. And what we are going to do now is open up the Finder, and I've connected 3 external SSD to the hub now, and we're going to do a crazy speed test. But first, let's have a look at all the manuals, because maybe there's a specific connection where it uses one Thunderbolt port on the front and one on the back, so we can split the SSDs to get the best speed possible. German, English, okay, nice. Oh, that was just the installation guide. This is the manual. An interesting fact is that the 4 6K USB-C ports of the docking station output 15 watts of power each at the same time, which is a lot to charge devices as well. And as I told you before, I don't use multiple displays, but this manual has a really interesting fact. It says that the MacBook Pro models with the Apple Silicon chips, which have a M1, M2, M3 Pro CPU, can support dual displays. And M1, M2, M3 Max do support quad displays. So the good news is, it doesn't matter exactly where we connect our hard drives as long as we use one of the USB-C ports or one of the 5 normal USB 10 gigabit per second. So you see all of my projects, and what we're going to do is to copy a big project, 400 gigabyte, yeah, that's okay. We copy it and paste it onto another empty SSD. So we're going to paste it and see what does the speed feel like at first. Yeah, that looks good, exactly the speed what I expect from any external SSD. And now at the same time we're going to do a Blackmagic disk speed test at the same time on a third external SSD. So you have to imagine we do read from SSD 1 and copy to SSD 2, and now we're doing a disk speed test at SSD 3 and speed test start. We already have reached 1000, now it's at 600, and at read it's at 369. So that's really good. Like, the writing speed is amazing, and you see the transfer speed of SSD 1 and SSD 2 is not influenced by this. So it's still super fast. And now let's just open up Premiere Pro on the third SSD, like we're opening a project from there. And it's color graded. There are some effects like real smart motion blur sometimes. I'm just going to press play and it's running smoothly. Of course, After Effects never, because there's motion blur and a 3D camera and stuff. It's not like destroying Premiere Pro. So that's exactly what I was hoping for and expecting. I'm so happy to see that, because now I know, hey, I can transfer data from this drone to this, I can still edit videos and even run a Blackmagic speed test on a disk. So the hub is far away from its limit. I would say the SSDs would reach their limit before the hub itself. For me, the hub improved my creative process and work quality mainly by 3 things. It sped up my workflow, allowing me to connect devices faster and edit faster. It helped me to free up my mind because I see no cable mess anywhere. And it has so many ports that I know no matter what I want to add, there are endless possibilities. If you want to see more about my studio and the whole setup, make sure to subscribe and like. You can find the iVANKY FusionDock Max one down in the description, where you can buy it. You'll find a specific discount code, and this could be your way to build a really efficient, beautiful desk setup. See you in the next one.